What is up, everyone, and welcome to the channel. Today we are talking about Arma 3 and its relevance in 2023. So, Arma 3 is reaching its 10-year mark in September of this year. So yes, the game is old, but was way ahead of its time when released. There are still very few games that come close to Arma 3. Many have tried and failed to recreate the magic that Arma 3 brought to the community. Arma 3 has fantastic single player, the campaign, scenarios, multiplayer, as well as the editor for making your own custom scenarios. You can pick up Arma 3 on the Steam Workshop. Its normal price for just about the base game is about $30. Or you can get the Apex bundle for $66, which includes most of the DLC, which I would completely recommend. It comes with lots of new scenarios, lots of new assets to play in single player, as well as a new campaign. It also gives you tons of new assets, like I said, so when you're making missions or just kind of messing around, it is the way to go. So that way you kind of experience Arma 3 in its entirety. Arma 3 does go on sale quite often throughout the year, and that is when I would personally recommend picking it up. Arma 3 has tons of sales throughout the year. I believe the base game when Arma 3 is on sale is usually like $10, and then the bundle I think is like around $30. That is when I would personally recommend for you guys to pick up the game. Those sales, you can wait around, just throw it on your wish list, and it will give you a little notification when it goes on sale. Arma 3 is still getting tons of new players all the time, especially for a 10-year-old game. Arma 3 gained about 879,000 new players last year in 2022 alone, with over 2.2 million active users currently playing. So finding a unit or playing multiplayer is not an issue at all. You can find any type of unit for your mil sims that you want to get done and play with, or even make your own with a group of your buddies, especially with the price of the game when it's on sale. Just have a bunch of buddies buy it and you can have a ton of fun. Arma 3's base campaign, The East Wind, is a great story played from the perspective of Corporal Carey as him and his NATO unit fight off a surprise CSAT invasion. It takes place in the year 2035 setting, so still very familiar feeling with factions, weapons, vehicles, but in the near future. Arma has always had a great story-driven campaigns, and the East Wind is no different, especially if you've played Arma 2 and Arma or Operation Flashpoint. You guys know that Arma's campaigns are fantastic. Arma 3's graphics are still good for 2023, depending on who you ask. You can have beautiful scenarios and full foliage, or you can have some terrible load distance. But it all really depends on what settings you're running, how much performance you want out of it, what specs your PC are is a huge contributor to this. Also, there are tons of mods to give some of the older assets and, you know, smokes settings and all that stuff a little bit more of a modern update. But speaking of mods, Arma 3 has a huge array of mods to choose from the Steam Workshop. Plenty of mods are still being dropped and updated daily as well. So if you guys are ever wanted to live out a battle in Star Wars, or drop into combat as an ODST trooper, or even cleanse a planet of heretics against the God Emperor of mankind, well, Arma 3 has you covered. If that doesn't suit your fancy, you can buckle up and jump back into time to the Cold War, Vietnam, and World War II. Pretty much anything you can really think of and you want, Arma 3 will most likely have it in a mod setting for you. If you guys have a bunch of buddies that are a bunch of fans of Star Wars, Halo, Stargate, even Warhammer, you can get them together and create some awesome scenarios that are just a absolute blast. So is Arma 3 still valid in 2023? I personally say yes, and I think it is going to be a while, if not until just Arma 4 is released, until it really starts to fade. If anyone is looking for a, highly, flushed out scenario, military simulation game, or you want to build your own missions or live out some awesome fantasies and mods, I recommend Arma 3 completely. It is a fantastic military simulation game with pretty good graphics, an outstanding company, and huge support for mods, so it is still relevant, modern, and things get updated constantly, like I said. If you guys enjoyed this video, please like, comment, subscribe, as it helps grow the channel a ton. Thank you, and I will see you guys in the next one.